Hi, this is Mike Koenigs, and I thought I'd make a special video for you. And what I wanted to do is share with you a couple ideas that I've been sharing with my team about how to connect with social media. And specifically, the backgrounder I'll give you is we're in the midst right now of a product launch. So we've got a series of videos that are going on, and one of the most important things that you want to do during a launch sequence is engage with all of your viewers in a way that inspires them and motivates them to not only share your videos and your content, but also ask questions and get interested in what's about to be released. Well, in the course of that, I created what I would consider a top 10 engagement list of what to do and how to do it. And ultimately, the goal is this is a template that you can actually give to your own team and use in any kind of a social media situation. So what I'm going to do right now is give you a list and explain what I try to do every time I respond and react to some sort of a question or a comment that shows up. And what I highly recommend you do if you want to see this in motion, because you'll see the psychology and the process, is check out guntoolkit.com, opt in, and see the comments in real time and see our process of engagement. So the first thing that you want to do whenever someone posts a comment is, first of all, acknowledge and just show that they're taking action and participating. So the whole idea then is, once you've acknowledged them and you acknowledge that you understand and you heard them, it's like any relationship, you want to find some way to engage with a question and then broaden the scope of the comment or question that will engage the entire audience. So really what you're doing is you want to address the individual and connect with them, but then use that as an opportunity to broaden a message to make it applicable, whatever you're responding to, apply to as many people as possible. So someone will say, hey, that person's just like me. And this is a perfect opportunity to just remember there's a great lesson. They call it the Mary Kay formula, which is answering the, is it easy? Does it work? Can I do it, or will it work for me? So in every one of these conversations, you want to bring it back to answer those subtle things that are going on in the background of someone's head. All right, so the way you do that is you want to reinforce whatever you're teaching, training, or commenting on with some examples that are actually designed just to speak, not just to the individual, but to everyone else reading. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to connect with some kind of feelings and heart. And the reason why this is important is because ultimately when someone's going to be making a buying decision with you and along with you, they're going to make a decision which is based on, do they like you? Do they trust you? Do they feel good when they're working with you? And if you're not displaying that in a social media environment, in your comments and in your feedback, or if you're responding with super short, meaningless responses, or something that doesn't pertain, or something that's just about and for them, someone's going to say, hey, there's nothing for me. Okay? And so anytime someone is making a comment about what they're experiencing or what they think, it's very, very important that you acknowledge that first and you address that in your reply. Okay? So the reason why people buy is because they need to feel that in the end when they read something, they're thinking to themselves, man, if this person is investing this much in me or someone else right now, I wonder what it's going to be like when I'm in that product. So this is very, very important to engage with them so they know that the ownership experience of being and having that product is going to be the same. Okay? So the next thing that is important from a sales perspective is something we call pre-framing. So what you want to do is arouse their interest or their curiosity about what else is coming up. So in the instance or example, when you've got a product launch going on, it's very, very good if you essentially subtly, if someone asks a question, you can say, look, in the next video, in this training series, or in a downloadable PDF, here's what else you can expect to learn and how we're going to reinforce or enhance this or add more value to you. And again, you're not necessarily using that language, but if you check out guntoolkit.com and see our language, you'll know that more often than not, because we understand who our customers are, what they need, what their pains are, what their buying behaviors and also their objections will be, we've already figured all this out ahead of time. We're addressing that in a later piece of content that's going to support them as well and educate them and help them achieve some results. And remember, a very, very important psychological principle behind good marketing and good launches are guiding someone down the path of what it takes to succeed and giving them so much valuable information and content that they genuinely feel taken care of and could actually implement just the things they're learning there and actually get and receive some results. Okay? Because look, if someone doesn't buy your product right now, that's not your goal. A short-term gain isn't worth the long-term risk to your brand equity. And that is the value of your brand over the long haul. So again, in my opinion, it's very, very important that you're teasing and providing a huge amount of value all the time. Now, the other thing that you're constantly wanting to do is arousing continued curiosity and opening a loop. Okay, so again, you can do that by the open loop in this particular case is say, look, in the next video, we're going to teach you specifically the 5 steps that you're going to need to know or understand in order to close more deals. And in the next PDF, we're actually going to give you some real-life samples that you can implement and use to find clients, capture leads, and follow up really effectively and automate the whole process. Okay? All that's true. All of it is what's coming next, and it's a real-life example I'm giving you as well. So the whole idea is, wow, I can't wait to check that out. So it's a good little reminder you're planting a seed. Okay? Now the next thing that you want to do is, once again, acknowledge their participation and thank them again, and also ask them to come back after taking some sort of an action. So a good launch video is going to ask someone to actually implement, do something, and share the results they get. Now, if you've studied Cialdini's work, which is all about social proof, your objective rather, is to create a series of examples of people who are observing, understanding, implementing, and generating proof. And what better time and better place to do that than during your marketing process? Because again, the psychology of the viewer and the consumer of the content is, boy, if people just like me are getting results right now just from this free stuff, the product's got to be absolutely fantastic. Of course, you've got to accomplish that and produce those results. But again, that's the whole idea here is you're seeding that behavior. And ultimately, this is all about implementation. So the next thing that you want to do is invite them to share. In other words, I'd like to, if you would, please like, comment, put this on Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, or wherever else that you might have social links. And of course, enabling and having those links on your page is good too. But there's a good old saying, which is, if you don't ask, you don't get. And it's been proven that when you ask specifically for someone to like, share, or comment, they're anywhere from 4 to almost 30% more likely to do it. Now, the only reason why that is such a broad range is simply because it's the type of audience, the type of media, and the type of content you're sharing as well. So ultimately, the other thing that I think is really, really important, and this is what we do, is I'm looking for as many indicators of what people are asking, thinking, knowing, believing, what their myths might be, what their objections might be, what their fears are, and I'm collecting a list of all those things that are going to end up going in our frequently asked questions that we share during the checkout process. And also, we do live webcasts. You know, basically out of this studio right here, I usually bring in some of our most successful students or customers, interview them, and if they're not able to come into the studio, we do this remotely, but they're right here. And what I want to do is I'm going to ask them the same questions that I know our viewing, participating audience is engaged with as well. Because if one person is asking a question or one person has an objection, there's probably 99 people just like them who aren't taking the effort. Okay? So paying attention to those patterns gives you the resources, the fuel, and the ideas that you can use to overcome objections and sales objections later on, especially in a live environment. And remember, these days, with tools like Google Hangouts and YouTube Live, we can do live broadcasts to the entire connected planet for free. Okay? It wasn't too long ago when I was doing these live broadcasts, it literally would cost us $3,000 to $6,000 to do an all-day broadcast. Okay? That's money in your pocket now if you're doing this. Okay? So finally, all this content will become good articles later on as well. So I'm going to just give you a real-life example of this. Okay? So this information that I just shared with you right now originally came from something that I observed in my own team, and I thought about it for a little while, and I thought, okay, I'm going to type up essentially an instruction manual that I'm going to share with my team to make sure that we go through a checklist whenever we're doing social media commenting, and it's something that I'll use myself as a reminder. So after typing that up, I turn this into a script, or at least some bullet points that I'm sharing with you right now. So this is becoming video content like you have right now. It can also become audio content. It can also become an article. I can have it transcribed. I could be teaching this live. I could make it part of a paid product too. So never, ever miss an opportunity to turn training content or even an email into content that you can share with the entire world. So what I'm going to do right now is just summarize each of these points so you've got an action item checklist moving forward. So the very first thing you do in every social media engagement, whenever possible, is acknowledge that they took action and are participating. The next thing that you want to do is open up with some kind of a question, and that's going to broaden the scope of what got asked so it appeals to more people and makes it relevant to the larger audience. You don't want to ignore the original question, but again, this is an opportunity to start a larger conversation with more people. Next thing you do is you reinforce with examples that are designed to speak to the individual, but also everyone else that's reading. Next thing, make sure you find some mechanism to connect with feelings and to heart, because first of all, you want to show your authentic human self, and maybe talk about somewhere that experience or that comment or that question relates to something that you have dealt with and overcome yourself. Show them that you've actually gone through and been on the same journey that they have. And also remember that the reason that people will buy is because they feel connected. That's what brand equity really is in the end. It's a sense and a feeling that that brand is going to take care of me, or that person is going to take care of me. And also know that they're feeling what they're asking or thinking to themselves right now is, wow, if they're giving away this kind of great content and information right now for free, that product must be fantastic. Next, you're going to pre-frame them that something else is coming up. Again, you want to continue this conversation both in that prospect's mind, so they're thinking about you on an ongoing basis and have a reason to come back later on. And then arouse their curiosity and open a loop. Again, the whole idea is show them that there's more coming and there's actually something missing right now. And again, you're creating an additional reason why for them to come back. And I talked about this in the beginning. Remember the Mary Kay formula. Always answer those questions. Is it easy? Does it work? Will it work for me? Or can I do it? Okay? So again, you close out by acknowledging their participation, thank them again, and encourage them to come back after they've taken some sort of action or implemented. And ultimately, you want to encourage them to share and comment and like and participate. So this message broadens, because again, if you think about it, if for every person you engage with, they'd share their experience with 3 other people, that's a recommendation, and recommendations are the best sorts of traffic. It's a referral back to you. Referrals are a hell of a lot easier to close when someone's saying, you got to check this out. I can't believe they took the time to connect with me, and look at how much they invested. So my highest recommendation right now is if you want to learn more and see this in motion, head on over to topguntoolkit.com, opt in. You're going to get, first of all, a couple great training videos, some awesome PDF documents that we put together that are all about closing deals. You'll see more of the psychology in motion, and you also see how a well-run social media campaign and interaction works, because this is working. We do have a lot of engaged people who are happy and excited and want to learn more. And I'm not too proud to say I've modeled a lot of other people to get to this point too. So I hope this was useful and helpful for you, and I'd love your comments and your feedback as well. I'm going to post this on all of my social media outlets. And in the meantime, head on over to topguntoolkit.com, check out the videos, the PDFs, look at the engagement, and heck, why don't you post a comment as well? So thank you. My name is Mike Koenigs. I'll see you online. Bye-bye.